Get ready for your regular info on marketing and branding from industry insiders to help you find success in your career. You're listening to the New Music Industry School presented to you by Dive Academy. I am Taiwo Giwa. So welcome back, guys, to the New Music Podcast. I am Taiwo Giwa, a digital marketer and a music enthusiast. And today we have a special guest. But before that, let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Ken Kenz, a videographer.
I'm Jaana. I'm a researcher at Oxford University, focusing on the Nigerian music industry.
Yeah, and I'm oxygenmix, a mix engineer.
Okay, so today we are talking about branding, okay? What branding is, the importance of branding, and the tips and tricks we can give you guys to start implementing as soon as possible. Okay, so I will just describe branding a bit, what it means, It basically is that factor, that distinguishing factor that makes you stand out in front of every other people. And especially the music industry where the barrier of entry is so low. We have thousands of artists, millions, in fact, into the music industry now, and the importance of standing out couldn't matter anymore, okay? And branding also, what I like to say is is a reflection of yourself outside, your innermost self, your values, portraying it out to the outside world. And these things include your personal appearance, your mood, your persona, how you basically make people feel, with your music and your aesthetics, your visuals and everything, and what people say after you are gone, basically the legacy you leave behind. Okay, so we'll start it out with the importance of branding. Okay, why is branding so damn important, especially for artists? Why? I've spoken about the first one, the fact that it distinguishes you, but there are other importance of branding that you should know. And I think oxygenmix has a few things to say about that.
Yeah. You see, the whole concept of brand is actually quite broad. But one thing that I find very important about branding is the fact that it unites you with your fans. For example, as an artist, say you're an R&B artist, you sing soulful music. I mean, when your fans come to see your Instagram page, they're expecting to see stuff like you doing all these medleys, all these acapellas. I mean, as an R&B artist, it would be weird for me to come to your page as a fan and I like most of your videos and everything, you're popping bottles in the club and all of that. Like, you give me the wrong impression. Do you understand? So it basically, like, the way you brand yourself helps you connect better with your fans. Do you understand? Like, it creates this kind of connection between the artist and the fan.
Yes.
That's basically it.
Okay, Jaana, is there anything you want to add to the importance of branding? Like, what do you think makes it so important?
So I think one thing that aspiring artists really need to understand is that they need to think long term. Like, you need to project yourself into the future, because having followers is only valuable to the extent that it can convert into monetary gain. And so what you need is that loyalty from the people who support you, and that's what branding can create. Like, people will actually consume your stuff. Corporate brands know they can reach those people through you. And so for that, you need to have that consistent identity that makes you likable as a person and attaches your fans to you.
True. Very, very important. There's also two basic essentials of branding that we would like to talk about. They are passive and active. I just categorized it into those two basic things. Passive being, the activities like, once you've gotten your logo right, you've gotten your personal appearance right, it works for you. You just have to stick with it. You see Lady Gaga with her bizarre fashion sense.
Yep.
She's just keeps somewhere in that, but it's working passively for her. Unlike the active things like engaging with your fans, the kind of messages you send to your fans, those are the things you do on a regular basis, and that's why we categorize that as active. It's just an easy way to categorize your branding. You understand? So I just mentioned that the two essentials of branding, passive and active, just to make it easier for you guys. Your passive branding could be your logo, your name, your appearance. Once you get that straight out the box, you just keep doing that. It continues, it works for you. Exactly. But the other things that you have to do on a daily basis is how you interact with your fans, the messages you send, how you reply them. You get the interviews you go to. You have to work on that every single day, and you have to be consistent with it. Okay. So we'll be moving over to the tips, okay, the juicy part. So what can you do now, like things you can start working on now to improve your overall branding? Okay, Oxygen, start with that. You mentioned some things earlier.
See, one very important tip as to branding yourself is identifying your mood, and then using that mood like, do you like make happy music? Do you make happy music? If that's kind of thing, you just say you make upbeat Afrobeat music. Just that you want people to come to your page and see bright colors like yellow, purple, and stuff like. Do you understand? Just to make them feel okay. This kind of music get mixed. Do you understand?
Just like easy now.
Yeah, true.
Easy,
and you're the kind that does say hip hop, like dark rap and stuff like that. I would expect to come to your page and see colors like red or just how I'm saying basically.
Yeah,
so it's just what you want them to see when they come to your page, like how you want them to feel, and you translate that into the kind of content you post. Be it your pictures, your videos, your logo, and basically your aesthetics. It should follow the mood.
Yeah, and okay, do you want to add something, Jaana?
Yeah, I think I have 2 words of caution actually for aspiring artists in relation to branding. Is that, you know how people say that bad publicity is good publicity?
That is
it's
bad
not.
publicity.
It is not. I would caution people against that. Like, build a brand that is consistent. There is no shortcut to fame. Like, even if there is, like, that fame is useless. What you want to build is a brand that will move you through time. You need to aim to be this for the long run, and so you want people to like you. You don't want them to follow you for the wrong reasons. Like, that will not help.
True.
And the other thing I'd like to say with regard to branding is that, you know, when you're building a brand, the process is identifying your strengths, your assets, and emphasizing them. There's no point in trying to be someone you're not. Like, that will just not work. Like, for 2 reasons. Like, people will notice it, and that just looks silly.
Just be consistent.
And you won't be able to carry on with that. So you want to just be yourself, because that's who you can be for the long term, and no one can copy that. That's what makes you unique.
Yeah. Another thing I would like to add to that is you have to understand your why. Okay, understanding your why goes a very long way. You can't just say your why is because you want to be rich and famous. Okay, a lot of artists, when I ask them, why are you doing music? Like, I want to pop, I want to be rich.
Music needs to be a priority.
Exactly, and lifestyle, and they just want to emulate.
And the thing is, when you are eventually rich, at least some of you, when you are eventually rich and famous, that's when you realize that, okay, this wasn't the goal. Okay, fine, I'm rich and famous, but you feel empty inside. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how has music impacted you on a personal level, your life, and how can it impact other people? How can you use your music to impact other people's lives? It's very, very, very important. So understand your why. Then create your vision. Okay, and I make this simple analogies. Like, imagine there's a time machine right now, and you teleport to 5 years in the future. Okay, what do you want to see? Your name now, artist A. What do you want to see artist A? In terms of accomplishments, in terms of what he represents. If you can paint that picture perfect right now, it will make you focused on where you are going to, and to help you with your branding and all that. Okay, and I would like to add the color psychology, something I just came about recently. Colors represent a lot of values. We have purple with creativity, we have red with power, we have green with education and health. So try to find, first get your values. Obviously, once you have your values, find the matching colors that go with it and mix it up with your aesthetics and all that. You could just Google color psychology, then you see the different colors and what they represent. So any other tips you want to add? I know Kent has something amazing to talk about, the primal branding. Yes, primal branding technique. But before I mention that, let me just give a few examples of some amazing brands. You see, Gary V. Gary V does this so well. Like, he represents positivity, hard work, optimism, and straight to the point, no BS. So that's his brand. Immediately as you watch something of Gary V, the feeling you get is okay. And he doesn't move. He goes straight to the point. Like, you are in control of your life. What you do, you understand, is based on your actions and all that. So that's what he represents. Drake used to represent, the lover boy, but now he represents luxury, wealth, lifestyle, accomplishments, and all that. So that is what I'm talking about in terms of values. What do you represent now? Over time it will change. Don't get me wrong. You will grow as a person. What matters to you will change. So you have to find a way to incorporate that with your brand. Okay, so Kent, so let's hear what you have to talk about. This amazing primal branding. You mentioned just talk about.
Okay. Basically, you want to brand yourself right now, but there are actually techniques you can use to go about it. So I came upon this book called Primal Branding by Patrick Allen. It talks about 7 primal codes. Let me start by explaining some of them. There's the creation story. That has to do with like how this certain brand came about in the first place. So today I'm going to use whiskey as a case study because I feel everyone can relate to whiskey.
Definitely.
So as I'm explaining how whiskey brand is, I'll be explaining the codes, deciphering it.
Okay.
So creation story. The thing is, whiskey's creation story started like he started singing in the church like choir. I think we all know that. Yeah, exactly. He says it. That's the thing. He says it consistently and he sticks with it. Aside that, we also know that Banky W was the one that also discovered whiskey and brought him to the limelight. That's whiskey's creation story. So as an artist, you really need to always remember, and as you are going, you stick with your creation story. It's very important. Aside that, the thing about creation story is like anyone you've met the first time, like you meet someone, you're getting to know the person. You get that moment that you got to know the person is your creation story with the person. So most of the time, the thing about artists is that when they are connecting with their fans, it's like they are connecting with them on a personal level. That's what branding is all about. You're connecting to that person on a personal level. So let's move away from creation story. We have creed. The thing about creed is your mission statement. Why this artist exists in the first place? What are you trying to achieve exactly? What impact are you trying to exactly? So the thing, whiskey, back to whiskey again. He said what whiskey said was he wants to be the best, not just in Nigeria.
Okay.
But he sees himself competing with the likes of Chris Brown,
Yes.
like being in the same level with them. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
See, a very powerful statement and still living up to it. The next thing is icon. Icon is your logo. We all know whiskey's logo, whiskey's sign, whiskey and Starboy. Yeah. Exactly. Very, very important. Your logo is very important. The fourth is pagans, non-believers. The thing is, every successful brand has, yeah, exactly. It exists. You can't do without it. It's not possible. That's 4, right? The 5th one is the ritual. Okay. Now, what ritual means is what people can, how do I put it? Any brand they associate with or they are using. Let me move away from whiskey a bit. We can use like close up. Close up is like toothpaste. Okay. Wake up every morning.
Next thing you
exactly. It's a ritual. It's a ritual. So whiskey now is ritual. He actually like shows it to us. The fact that it's hard working. And everyone that's trying to achieve something great, you show that you're really working on it. Exactly. That's ritual. The 6th is leader. Now the thing is, for every brand there's a leader. I'll digress away from whiskey a bit. Apple, we have Steve Jobs. Okay. Yeah, someone that really, how I put it, he represents the whole value of the brand.
That drives the brand.
Exactly. Okay. So whiskey, as at that time when whiskey was building up his career, his leader was Banky W. Banky W had everything whiskey was trying to achieve at that time. He was an impactful business guy and music. The last is Sacred Words. Sacred Words. Whiskey. Starboy. He says it and even when he's performing,
that was okay.
You can't hear anyone saying that without thinking of whiskey.
I don't think he does that anymore, though.
And the thing about this thing is, the thing about Primal Branding is that he still uses it. He uses it now. The thing about Primal Branding is you can apply it to everything. That's what thing I like about it. You can apply it to so many things. But right now, since we're talking about artists, you can also apply it to branding of artists. So those 7 things, I'll get back to it again. You have your creation story, you have your icon, you have your creed, sacred words, pagan, and leader. So just write it down and try and figure it out with your own branding.
And try to be as consistent as possible.
Exactly.
You don't want to just, like a ritual is something that you do over time. I read it somewhere that you develop a habit by doing the same thing for 21 days straight. Exactly. I mean, that is a start to, that's the way to start your own ritual too. So make sure you give like 21 days in a row. Exactly. It becomes a part of you.
So really think about it.
Oh, that was amazing. So you called the book what?
Primal Branding by Patrick Allen.
Okay, Primal Branding by Patrick Allen. I think you guys should get a copy of that. Check it out. Also, Avora Now Music. I don't think the music is Avora Now. They're on Instagram. Is also, I give them credit for this amazing ebook that they got me. I got from them. It's called the branding blueprint. It's an amazing ebook. You should check it out. I think it's just about $10 or so. Yes, those guys, they also do very, very good content. So check them out. So give kudos to them. Before we end this, this is closing statement. So I hope you guys, got enough value from this. Exactly. Exactly. And action. You guys have to, immediately after this, try to implement this. Yeah. Is there any closing statements you guys have before we end? Is any other thing that we may not have mentioned, or you feel these people or these artists should know?
Yeah, I would like to say that, once you have understood those steps, was it 7?
Yeah,
steps
7
of Primal Branding? Like, then you can fill them up with anything you want. It's just a process that is standard. But then just be creative. Like, please be creative. That's what people are looking for.
Exactly.
Branding is aspirational.
Something that stands you out,
exactly.
Separates you from the next guy.
Yeah, there's not just one way of being aspirational. It's not just about like car or designer brand, like designer clothes. Like, really, you can be yourself and add your touch.
That's what will make you special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, so no other closing words.
That's basically it.
So we'll end it with that. And the last statement I would just like to say is, your brand is for life and beyond that. Okay.
Yes.
So when you are gone, what people remember you for? Say Michael Jackson, say Tupac, you get the fella. They are way gone, but people still, they stood for something. So you have to know that this branding thing is something you should take very, very serious. Okay. And basically, I know it could be overwhelming, the information now. Okay, especially for artists hearing all this thing at once. Like, how come for those that have not heard of it before, how come I've heard of this before? And there's so many things to do. Take it slow, okay? It's a gradual process. Branding is something you keep on working on a daily basis.
I need a management, but that's a
topic for another day.
It's day for another day, exactly.
But it can be your family, your friends.
Exactly.
Build, those trusted circles, early on. They will help you with branding as well.
Exactly. So we'll end that for that, today on branding. And you guys, thank you so much for your time. oxygenmix, Kenny Kent, Jaana, thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. And as usual, we'll be back. See you next time.